welcome to Aliens with the Girls. Should I say welcome back for all of our loyal fans. I'm your host, Sidney.
I'm your co-host, Julia.
And I'm your co-host, Michael.
And we're going to get into some freaking alien stuff.
Let's do it.
Let's freaking do it. But before we do, guys, we released... Okay, so we're kind of on a backlog of recording for all of, our listener, singular. But we released our first, social media post and our first episode this week. Any thoughts, feedback, any response that you guys have gotten from anybody?
Only good things.
That's good.
I think that, talking about aliens has become so, faux pas in culture and society that, I think people listening to episode 1, all of the feedback I've gotten was oh my God, this is so interesting, actually. And,
Nice.
I had no idea about X, Y, and Z. And, we're over here being, same.
Yeah.
I love learning about this stuff, but, it's also, so hush-hush in our culture. So it was cool to hear people be we want more. More info.
We'll give you more.
Yeah. I 100% agree. I think it was really cool to see just the explosion of excitement when we released clips on socials.
Explosion of excitement.
Well, for us.
For us, yeah. I haven't posted on social, I looked, since I think it was 2021 or 2022. On my actual Instagram.
And then you just come out with alien conspiracies.
Clips a day, absolutely. Eat it.
Everyone's well, Sidney went off the rocker, so that's great.
We always knew she was a little unstable, but here she goes. Okay, it's happening.
It all makes sense now.
To 3 posts a day.
I'm taking it down to 2. After some good feedback.
I think it's better to move more towards...
Post your little heart out.
Towards Dorman.
12 a day.
Post enough until you decide I don't want to post anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's been fun.
Yeah.
It's been fun. But I did learn my first posting lesson. I did get one of my posts taken down. And the violation.
God, yeah, I wanted to ask
on
about
TikTok.
Because
Our
that's
first
kind of
violation. Probably not the
My
last.
bad. My bad.
They were
it was for spreading misinformation.
Yeah, but what misinformation? If not the whole thing is misinformation. Why that one though?
Well, that was the one where I really got into
What did it say,
Project
though?
Bluebeam and the government and the second coming of Christ.
Okay, actually that
I wonder what made them
that's
laugh.
actually tea. I think that makes sense.
Whatever. I don't care.
Whatever.
Oh, okay. And then on top of that, I also did get some really cute shout outs. Some of my high school friends, shout out Terrence and Hannah, who
Thanks,
I haven't
Terrence.
spoken to in forever. They
Yes.
followed. I'm oh, and Terrence even texted me. I'm that's so
that's
sweet.
cute.
Literally all my old coworkers from the company before the one I was at,
Yeah.
everybody reached out. And I'm guys, that's so sweet. One of
love
them
that
was
so
what
much.
is this? LOL. I'm I've gone off the rockers. I want to talk about aliens online. But you're right. Anyways,
Where's the
Regardless,
lie?
thank you for all the support.
thank you. And shout out to some of my ex-boyfriends who also
Ooh,
engaged in some way. Hey.
yeah.
Any weirdo, not weirdos, nice people, gentlemen, reach out to you guys.
My friends have all been oh my God, love it.
Yeah.
My new family couple that I'm having a baby with in
Ooh.
Indy.
That's
Shout
some
out
lore.
Kevin and Ginny. Wow, love you all.
Baby.
Listen to it,
Kisses.
and they're just as alien freaky as we are. So
Oh, I love
they were
that.
all about it.
Okay, we're gonna have to get into that lore
Alien
a little
freak
bit
adjacent.
later too.
Wait, any of yours?
AFA. Any of my exes?
Or just friends?
We're friends.
You could go straight to exes
all
though.
of
Do
my
that.
friends are so excited about the podcast. And when I sent to them, they listened to the whole episode and, gave notes where they thought, we could do better or parts they really enjoyed.
That I could be a little bit quieter.
Never.
Sid's annoying.
Never. We love you and all of your loudness.
Thanks.
We listen and we
guys.
do judge though.
Yeah, well, it sounds like it. I've gotten some feedback from people. Sorry for all the anyways and the ums that I say too. I'm new to this.
I'll listen to
Hey,
your
we're learning on
ums
the job,
any day.
okay?
Good.
We're trying our best. But just overwhelmingly positive and, again, also more importantly, I would say, an interest in the subject matter.
Yeah.
Aliens
I
and
think
learning
that's-
more.
That's what we're
and
key here.
looking for.
so I think,
the girls are interested. They just didn't know they were
just didn't
interested. That was
know.
aggressive. Sorry.
yeah, so the rest of the season, I'm really excited to see, how people's excitement grows and who maybe will tune in to learn more about aliens.
Love that.
Nice.
Honestly, these sirens
And
are coming at the right point tonight.
They really are. The timing is
The
impeccable.
comedic timing of sirens is just can't be taught.
Mm-mm.
Can't be
That
taught.
means we are on
It's
the
the spirit
right.
of Chicago.
Can't
We're
be
on the
taught.
right timeline. If those are like beeping, you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100.
Yeah, this
The
is
car
the right
said beep.
timeline.
Yes.
Beep beep. Maybe that's a good time to get into our story.
Pause for ums.
Anyway, so I didn't have time. I don't have my cute clipboard this week. I'm sorry. Because I didn't go in and print my episode. So we're going to be doing this from the laptop. I hope I don't lose my space. If I do, apologies. But I don't know where that came from. I'm so sorry.
Apology.
I really like this new
Apologies.
new you.
She might
Yeah.
come out in
Who is this?
episode.
Wait, oh my god, do a whole country accent the whole episode, please.
Oh my god, 12 million followers that we don't even
Please.
have unsubscribed. We
Everyone's
go
like, "Who's this
negative
bitch?"
in the followers. Hey, wait, also, shout out, we did have 37 downloads in 4 different countries. 5 different countries if you include the US. Barbados, to
Woohoo!
you. Dominican Republic, we
Hey.
see you.
Thank you.
France and
DR.
UK are people. I don't know. I'm actually, English, kind of. I'm a Mayflower descendant.
Woof, that's tough.
I'm
Pilgrims?
sorry to say that. Pilgrims.
It gets
Got
flagged.
it. Anyways, no, that's my proud family history. Okay, so let's not talk about pilgrims. Today, we're going to talk about Roswell. Bum bum. Bum bum.
I cannot wait.
Sad attempt at drum roll. Thank you, Michael.
Nice, nice. We do.
Sorry,
we should
Pickle.
get some sound effects in here. Don't
I
we
can-
have some
We
in
can,
there?
we can
We
splice in
might.
some like,
Shoot, guys, we might get real technical and get some sound effects.
I'll
one day.
throw in a little drum beat.
yeah.
Boom.
I want to be like boom, 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 boom. Fucking like club.
We're doing some dubstep before we get into Roswell.
It's like the white girl dance.
Wow.
My song.
Okay, chaos over. We're getting into more contained chaos.
Yes.
Yes.
Roswell.
Here we go.
So, first, we're going to cite our sources because I am going to improve on this. I actually still need to cite the first episode sources. I'm going to put those in the YouTube notes. I've been busy. I haven't gotten there. I will. Anyways, I got today's episode's information from an Unsolved Mystery episode, Season 5, Episode 4. Have you guys seen Unsolved Mysteries first?
no,
Mm-mm.
haven't seen it.
I mean, I know it exists because like it's like one of those
Yeah.
programs that are on TV, have been on TV for like forever.
It's amazing. And they like did a whole revamp. Oh, you guys got to check it out. It's not all alien stuff too. They have some really cool like unsolved like murders on there and like just disappearances. 10
I
out of
do
10.
love murders.
10 out of 10.
I have seen them pop up in my suggested history
Yeah.
on YouTube,
They're
or like
you'd like this
not suggested history.
I know what you mean.
Suggested
Yeah.
to watch.
Julie, a night like this.
Suggested to watch.
To
Cater
enjoy.
to you.
Little fairy wand, ding, sparkles, like the Disney Channel, like
It's like watch these aliens and
and we're
murders.
from Disney Channel. Okay, anyways,
Sorry.
back to you, Sid.
Back to this. Okay, so Unsolved Mysteries again, which has been around forever, as we know. In this episode where I got most of my information, it starts out with a shout out to itself, Unsolved Mysteries, which I love that
That
it
is
does. It's
funny.
like a callback to like the OG episodes.
Yeah.
And in this episode, it focuses on a segment that was aired in 1989. Shout out Taylor Swift. Sorry I did that.
No, we're cutting that.
Yes.
Okay, we're not. Fine.
Okay. We almost had a fight. Anyways, the segment that was aired in
Our first fight.
1989 about a UFO crash near Roswell, New Mexico,
Got
which,
you.
according to Donald Schmidt, who's going to be one of our main players in today's episode, this was the first network show that really presented Roswell as a historical event and also as a potential government cover-up.
Wow.
So naturally, obviously, when this Unsolved Mysteries episode aired in 1989, it started a new wave of intrigue around Roswell and UFOs that I don't think ever like fully went away. Because
Yeah.
let me just ask you guys, have you heard of Roswell before?
I was just gonna say like I didn't really know what Roswell was.
Yeah.
I like knew that it was about aliens,
Did you-
but
yeah,
I
but,
didn't
like,
know.
did you
I didn't
know
know
the
it was a
name?
place.
Okay.
I've heard of it because like back in like when I was growing up, I've always had a fascination with aliens. So like
Okay.
it's similar to me like with Area 51. It's just a known thing. I know that Roswell existed or exists.
Did you guys sign up in like 2017 for that like Storm Area 51 thing
No,
on
but I
Facebook?
remember that. There was a total of like 100 people.
No, there were like thousands of people. I think
Really?
100 people or like maybe something lower showed up.
Yeah,
But the
that's what I
page
meant.
got like mad traction. I think I signed
Mad.
up. I wasn't gonna go, but like hell yeah.
Just signing up to participate.
I mean, I just
I
want
love
the
it.
numbers. Numbers matter.
True.
so,
Julia,
you know.
did you know about Roswell?
Yeah.
It's very similar to what you just said, Michael.
Yeah.
I know of it in association with aliens and Roswell, and the same with Area 51 in the way that it's kind of like mythical, I guess.
Yeah.
But I don't know anything further than that.
I definitely
So,
didn't know it was a landmark.
Yeah, I sure didn't know that either.
Well, it's
Historical
not-
landmark?
It's a town, city.
I thought you said it was like a historical.
It was what I'm saying is the event that happened around Roswell was a
Oh.
historical event
Got you.
that happened near Roswell.
Okay,
that I'm
got you,
gonna
got you,
get
got you.
into.
Cool.
So with that, I guess let's freaking get into our story. And for today's story, we're gonna throw it all the way back to 1947 in Chavez County, New Mexico, about 40 miles north of Roswell. I promise not to do that accent.
Oh, I
I'm
love it.
seriously
Keep her
promise.
going.
I love it. Anyways, it was the night of July 2nd, 1947, and there was a severe thunderstorm. Out in this area, by the way, it's like mainly like ranching land.
Yeah,
So
100
keep that in
cattle.
mind. Okay, so on this night, between the thunderclaps, ranchers reported hearing. Good. Oh, that would be a really good place for our sound effects.
That's what that was.
Okay, so we're low budget. Okay. I get it.
Cool. Okay, it's fine. Feedback in a moment. It's okay.
Anyway,
Okay, no, go back.
Okay, okay.
Thunderclaps.
so between thunderclaps, pew, 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 rangers reported hearing what sounded like a loud explosion. Okay, cancel the sound effects. We're over those. Anyways, a loud explosion or a UFO crash. And the next morning, a guy named W.W. Brazel, who's a
Sorry, no, we gotta pause. We gotta pause.
guys, I hope
for
I'm pronouncing that
W.W.
right.
Brazel. I thought there was gonna be a .com at the end of that.
Me
Rich.
too, literally.
Ain't no way. His name is W.W.
Yeah.
Brazel.
W.W. Brazel. He was a ranch foreman, which sounds hot, honestly.
Okay, yeah,
like,
smash. Okay.
Okay,
Maybe we'd give him
WW.
instead of a .com like a .org.
Yeah, for sure.
ooh.
A .UFO.
I don't feel comfortable giving .gov in the
Yeah, no,
context of
100,
this
'cause
conversation.
No, because they're going to come in later. They might want their own website.
Yep.
Or
Okay.
like a .me, the thing that is kind of embarrassing.
Ooh.
Do you know what I mean?
He might. Anyways, let's get back to Brazel. I'm
No?
sorry. I'm just going to breeze over that. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
Michael.
no, we
I
can
didn't get
breeze.
it, so I don't care. Anyways. So, Brazel, hot foreman, he discovers a debris field where all over the place, like all over this ranch land, there's foil-like, metal-like material that's just scattered all about. And it wasn't like a metal that Brazel had ever seen before. It was like you couldn't damage it. It was really like flimsy, but it was strong. Like you hit it with a sledgehammer and the sledgehammer just like bounces right off of it. It's
Damn.
wild. So, anyway, Brazel, he gets a box and he collects some of this material. And then a few days later, which was a Sunday, the Lord's Day, he takes that material and he drives it right to Roswell. And
Can I ask a question?
Yes, please.
Do we know, was the metal tested later? Or are we just going off of his interpretation?
We'll get into some more accounts of what the metal was like.
Okay.
But I'm just going to say now, the government isn't really releasing much
Okay.
on what this might have been.
So it's a little bit of hearsay? Like he's saying the metal was
He-
super flimsy?
Yes.
Or like strong?
Hearsay.
Flimsy? Yeah.
Hearsay.
Hearsay.
He say.
Okay.
Yeah, he say that.
He drives it to Roswell.
So he drives it to Roswell, this material, because, I mean, think about it. So he finds this material, and it's not just like a normal metal that he's finding on the ground in his like ranching land. It's hello, pickle. It's enough that he's like, I need to take this to like a
Yeah,
military
like,
base.
it's spread
So
everywhere.
he's like, what the heck is this that crashed here?
Yeah.
So it kind of freaks him out, I would assume.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he's driving it to Roswell, which apparently is home to the 509 bomb group or bomb squad. I don't know which one.
Bomb squad.
which apparently it's the first atomic bomb squadron in the world. Have you guys heard of it?
No,
I
that's
have
an
not.
amazing name though. The Bomb Squad.
The 509 Bomb Squad.
That's amazing.
They're the same bomb squadron that actually dropped the A-bomb in Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Oh,
Gosh,
okay.
that's tough.
All right. Yeah.
Wild coincidence though
Got
that they're
you.
in like this UFO like crash happened near this bomb squad nuclear energy
True.
kind of area though, because you guys remember the last episode where we said like UFOs are
The drones
interested
were going
in
over
Because
radioactive
they're
places.
looking for a weapon
It's all
or something
connected.
dangerous that could be used against us, if not in our possession.
Ladies
That's
and
wild.
gentlemen, we're already starting
The
to
webs
see a
are
theme.
connecting.
We're starting to see a theme.
And it's only episode 3. What?
Do you see the theme though?
Do you?
Do you?
Blue's Clues.
But do you?
see the theme?
I actually didn't until literally just now.
All right, it's okay. We'll draw things out for you guys. I love it.
Drag us.
Okay. Sorry, sit break. So, while we are at this base, Brazel comes in and he meets Major Jesse Marcel, who's the head of intelligence at the base. And again, he meets Brazel and he takes his box of UFO material and he takes it in the back to his boss. Which Brazel, like, why did you bring all of the material and like never let it leave your sight? Which, you know, that's probably not
Yeah.
what he was thinking.
Totally.
He was probably like, I need to get this checked out. Here you go. But
He was
like,
like, hey,
my
government,
crazy
help.
mind.
And the government was like,
Yeah. They're like, don't look at this, Brazel. You
Steal
didn't
it.
say anything.
thanks.
Said we are taking the lot.
You're good to go. See you later.
Bye.
I'm done.
Keep the lot.
So a few
We're
days
taking the
later,
lot.
at the Roswell Army Air Force Field, which I'm not sure how they're really affiliated with the 509 crew, but here we are. They reported to the press that, quote, the RAAF captures flying saucer on ranch in Roswell region, which is crazy because rewind and think back to 1947. There's no internet. There's no social media. The newspaper is the main form of, like, getting news out to the people. So imagine freaking seeing this.
That's so true.
Like,
That would be
that's
nuts.
crazy.
That's crazy.
So obviously this turns Roswell, the sighting, into a internationally known story. And in the episode of Unsolved Mysteries, there's this really great, like, radio broadcast that has this perfect transatlantic accent in
Oh,
it.
yes.
And, it's
Amazing.
just absolutely beautiful.
Oh,
It's
I
like,
love the
"Ah,
transatlantic
yeah,
Yeah.
that's actually exactly
Yes.
what it sounded like.
Okay.
to me.
Exactly that.
I love it. I'm here for
I
it.
went for that one, didn't I?
I was just transported. Not to a
Same.
good place.
Seriously telling me.
To my nightmare.
Could you say that? But say that. What did they
Wait,
say?
yeah, okay.
Literally telling everybody that the U.S. Army is in possession of a flying saucer.
The
So-
U.S. Army is in possession of a flying saucer. Everyone stay inside. There is no need to panic. Wait.
Wait, I'm sorry. Am I in the
Beep, beep, beep,
1940s?
beep, beep, beep. We just got news. Breaking news. The U.S. Army is in possession of a UFO. Everyone stay inside.
I want you to do the rest of the episode.
Don't
In that
panic.
accent.
I'm panicking.
That just incited mass hysteria in
I'm just the
Julia.
voiceover, okay?
That's
They didn't tell me.
Wow.
Can you play that in the
That's
background of the rest of
amazing.
the episode?
It's like amazing but grotesque.
It'll be our new our new intro.
I'm obsessed. New intro. Ooh, that would be fun. Okay, mine's running now. Okay, back to this. Where am I? Sorry, guys.
The
Oh,
U.S.
okay.
Army.
We're back. We're
Go again.
back. I just had to find my spot. So at this point, the story is a little out of hand, and Major Marcel, who again is the one who collected the material from Brazel,
Yep.
he is ordered on a B-29 bomber, which is a big like military plane. I didn't know. And he flies with the collected materials to Fort Worth, Texas, to meet with the 8th Air Force. Wait, the head of the 8th Air Force, General Ramey. We're gonna go with Ramey.
Ramey. So they flew from Arizona to Fort Worth, Texas to meet the head of the general.
New Mexico. Roswell's in
New
New
Mexico.
Mexico. Yeah.
To
All the way to
Texas.
Fort Worth, Texas.
Got you.
To meet with the head of the 8th Air Force.
And was that guy, the OG guy, Daniel, a part
No.
of it, who found the medal?
No, so
He's already
Daniel's
off.
not in the story yet. He's going to come up in a sec. So he flies again to Fort Worth, Texas, to meet with General Ramey. And Marcel again takes all of the collected materials to his office. He puts it down, and then they start hanging out. Him and Ramey. They go for a little walk. They kiki for a bit, if you will.
Kiki.
Love a kiki.
And then they go back to Ramey's office, General Ramey's office. And upon returning, Major Marcel is shocked to find that the collected material is gone. And in
Gasp.
its place is a clump of like rotting weather balloon material and a shredded radar reflector kite.
Wow.
What?
Rags to riches.
Wait, what?
Oh, wait, riches to rags.
He knows like this material is straight up swapped.
Oh, so someone swapped it. I was thinking that like crazy metal melted into something different, transformed. Someone just
Somebody
stole it and replaced
swapped
it with
that
shitty
shit.
weather balloon material.
Again, don't leave your stuff laying
It's
out.
not apples to apples.
No. So Marcel's probably
Not a
confused
great swap.
at this point, and you know he thought General Ramey and him were gonna be like besties. Now he's swapping his stuff. So at this point, General Ramey is like, "Hey, Marcel, let's get a photo with you and this material." So they take a photo of Marcel posing with this weather balloon and this radar kite, and they use this photo later on as propaganda to debunk and discredit anybody who reports the crash in Roswell is anything but a weather balloon crash.
Wow, he got bamboozled,
He
dude.
got
Holy
bamboozled. And Marcel's then ordered by Ramey not to say anything to reporters, not even his family, his wife, nobody. Mute. And the media is also threatened with losing their license if they didn't stop reporting on the flying saucer story. So from here on out,
That's so
Oh my God.
frustrating, though. Like,
so frustrating.
Sneaky,
It's so
sneaky,
frustrating.
sneaky.
And, well,
fuck the government.
clip it.
Welcome.
Flag us.
They will. I won't put this on TikTok. Anyway, so from here on out, the flying saucer story in Roswell started to become known as the weather balloon story, which is much less interesting. Different. It's different.
Because no one thinks about a weather balloon mishap.
No, I didn't really
Deflated
care.
the story,
no.
if you will.
Ooh, she's a comedian.
That's gotta be it.
That just got us a new follower.
Thanks.
We gotta,
you.
yeah,
Thanks.
that'd put a
Yep.
beautiful little bow on that story.
Love it.
Wrap it right up.
So again, this story kind of dies when it becomes the weather balloon story.
It's so sad.
Until Major Marcel, years later, comes back to us.
Wait, yes, okay.
So after this photo shoot with a balloon in Roswell, Marcel, he's kept overnight on the base. And again, it's pretty clear that he's going to be like the patsy in this weather balloon scandal. I don't know if I'm using that word
Yeah,
right.
what's a patsy?
But he's going to be the guy who like is, it's not anything. It's just a weather balloon. See? That's a patsy.
Like the main character.
He's gonna be the one who takes the,
The
fall for
whistleblower?
it. No, he's gonna be the one who's like, I brought this material here. Oh, it turns out it's just a weather balloon. That's a patsy. Stop
Patsy?
asking questions. Anyways,
You literally asked the question.
my bad.
Like, kind of like a con man a little bit.
No, well,
Like,
sure.
kind of just
An
being
inside,
like-
the inside guy who's part of the story.
Yeah.
originally.
So Marcel knows he's
yes
gonna be
man.
the patsy.
he knows he's gonna be whoever the patsy is. He's it.
That's yep.
He
That's
knows.
He's the patsy. So he ends up keeping this secret because again, he's a man of his word. He's a military guy.
Yeah.
You know how those guys are.
That's true.
Yeah.
And he keeps his word all the way into his retirement, where he becomes a TV repairman. Small business owners, we respect you.
Wow.
Love it.
We love it.
Shop
We love
small.
It. And
What a
man of his
wild
word.
life,
He's keeping
though.
that secret 30 years. But this information is eating him up inside, as it would me. I can't
Yeah,
keep a secret.
same.
Yeah, of course.
Well, I can, but no, I can't. And neither could Marcel. Because about 30 years after the incident, as he is a TV repairman, he gets diagnosed with a terminal illness, terminal emphysema, and he decides he can't keep it in anymore. So what? I mean, literally, what's the military gonna do? He's
Yeah.
dying.
Yeah.
He's
That's-
dying.
He's dying. So
Time to spill.
time.
Spill the tea.
Do it, and he decides to. So he speaks his truth, and he went on a show called In Search of. Do you guys know that show?
No.
No.
No, I didn't either. It's a little bit obviously lesser well known than
Yeah.
Unsolved Mysteries. I actually don't know if it's still on, but again, this was a show that really got into like some alien stuff, and it was, you know, one of the, I want to say, originals with no facts to back that up. So check me, I dare you. Anyways, so on this show, In Search Of, back in the, we'll say 1980s, Marcel goes on to say that the material that they found at the crash site, he was sworn to secrecy, never to mention again, was otherworldly. Like, you couldn't damage it. He says, oh, in another perfect transatlantic accent. Okay, ready for these lines?
Go, Michael.
We'll start with, being an intelligence officer, I was familiar with just about all materials used in aircraft and in our air travel. This is nothing like that. It could not have been.
But you want me to remember that?
I was gonna say that.
Okay, could you
Just
say
feed
this?
it to me.
This was nothing like that.
This was
it could
nothing
not
like
have been.
that.
It could not have been.
It could not have been. That was a little strange.
Okay, but you got it. Say
It
it
could
all
not have
together.
This was nothing like that. It could not have been.
That is perfection. That's exactly what I wanted. But again, he was an intelligence
4 years
officer.
of college.
Breaking this down from our beautiful accent. Thank you again.
Thank you. I mean, you're welcome. I was going to thank you as well.
Again, he earned his mic here.
Thank you.
The Academy. Thank you, the Academy.
Okay.
Okay, what's the
But breaking this quote down, step first. He was an intelligence officer. He knew every single material that was used in the U.S. Air. What am I trying to say? Air Force. Whew. He knew all that kind of material, and this was nothing like he had ever seen before. And he was up on the tip-top technology of the time. So that's kind of a wild statement. And as he came forward, he really sparked the interest in some and even emboldened other witnesses to come forward, which was a big deal at the time. Because again, remember,
For
we're
sure.
back in the almost 1950s. Reputation's like everything back then, you know?
It's kind of how you had to, like, survive.
Truly. And so with this is kind of what inspired two main characters of this Unsolved Mysteries episode, Kevin Randall and our buddy Donald Schmidt, who you were just chatting about. He's back now. They, with this, begin their investigation into Roswell. So Kevin Randall, he's, again, a former U.S. intelligence officer, another one. He's also retired from the Iowa National Guard, and he hears this story, and he wants to get involved, obviously. And he's one of the people who's going to go on to interview witnesses of the July 2nd UFO crash, because he thinks he's coming at it from a different perspective than previous reporters, because, again, he's a former U.S. intelligence officer. So, you know, if he's interviewing people in the military, they're going to feel more comfortable with him than like a snotty reporter coming to get some alien story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's Kevin. And then Donald Schmidt, he is like your classic UFO guy. He has like slick back hair, kind of looks like a Wall Street guy a little bit, but like a Wall Street guy who really likes UFOs. He apparently
Crazy combo.
He's been interested in it since high school. He goes way back with aliens.
Back.
And him and Kevin, they actually will go on to write a few books about Roswell.
Work.
So, of course, like, think about them starting off with this journey. They're pretty stoked about everything that's about to be going on. But as these guys start their investigation, which happens again in 1989, February of, if you're curious, they knew very little about the incident. They thought they honestly would spend like a few days on the case and solve it, no problem. So they soon realized that that was not the case as they began interviewing witnesses. So back to the OG Marcel. He had passed away at this time, but they were able to speak to Marcel's son, who is also named Jesse Marcel. Love that. A junior.
I do love
Classic.
a junior.
Junior. Apparently, the Marcels, somehow, and I don't know how this happened, I should have paid attention a little bit more, my bad. Pickle was being cute, who's also, I don't know if you can see,
She looks so
she's sitting in my lap for
Hi,
everybody
Diva.
watching.
Hi, Pickle.
She's such a
Reveal the
stinker.
actual alien in the room.
She's getting spayed tomorrow, and I'm so nervous.
Oh, she'll be
It's
fine.
like, I know.
She'll be all right.
Okay.
But we love you, Pickle.
Okay. So, back to the Marcels. Somehow, and again, don't know how this happened, but the Marcels somehow ended up keeping some material from the crash site because Marcel Jr. had a piece of metal with some crazy writing on it. It looked like hieroglyphics.
This is some fucking like Stranger Things shit.
No, it's crazy.
Seriously.
And Kevin and Donald, who, again, they'd been interested in UFOs for some time, I think, at this point. It was like nothing they'd ever seen before. So that's, again, pretty wild. And no, like, language that is known. And I want to see those hieroglyphics a little bit closer, because we're going to get into some crazier theories later, which these might come back to play into? No, but you know what I mean.
We'll come back to play with them.
They'll come back into play, is what we meant. But
There
we
we go.
got there. Third time's the charm.
That was tough.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey,
Well,
we got there.
anyway,
We got there in the end.
we got there in the end. Let's go back to the Marcels. So
Yes.
Marcel Sr.'s family also shared what he had said about the incident, about like the material being otherworldly and some other things we're going to get into in a second. But he still took some secrets to his grave. Apparently he said there are things that he just couldn't discuss, which I hate. That's so annoying.
Yeah.
You're literally dying. Tell
Like,
me
speak
all
it.
your secrets.
Yeah. What are you
Why would you
doing?
not just spill all of it if you're going to spill some of it?
I know, it annoys me. Anyways, rest in peace. So, Kevin and Donald, they will go on to interview over 600 witnesses, both civilian and military, with consistent stories about the sighting, many of them reported being threatened if they came forward with this kind of evidence. And that's backed up later in this Unsolved Mystery story through other witnesses. And again, these 600 witnesses with corroborating stories are being interviewed individually. They don't know each other, so how are they coming up with the same story
Yeah.
if it didn't happen?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no way they all like combined forces in the town and we're gonna tell this story.
No,
and all
I mean,
600 of them remember.
I would go to that town hall, but I don't think that's what's going to happen.
And also, not all of them. Also, I'm sure the government was like, "We'll give you some money if you tell us the truth."
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly. Anyways, so because of all of this attention it's getting, here comes the government to cover everything up, or at least try. But before we get into that real quick, let's go back to 1947 for a second, to the crash site, where apparently the government brings in a task force to retrieve all of the evidence, which, if you watched the last episode, might have been the beginning of the retrieval agency that I was talking about.
The Retrieval Agency.
That is still around today.
Another one of my favorite names of a squad.
So true.
The Retrieval Agency.
Yeah.
That's fucking amazing.
Okay, I hope
It's
I'm
great.
like naming them correctly. That's what we're
Rolls
gonna
off
call
the
them,
tongue
at least.
really well.
It's gonna be our fucking name right now.
We're the retrieval
We're calling
agency.
them the Retrieval Agency because that's so kind.
Okay, so the retrieval agency,
That's
they go
crazy. Oh,
full
never
Men in Black and have troops pick up every
right.
last piece of physical material. And then apparently, about 27 miles from the original crash site where all the debris was, a team of archaeologists from a college in Texas, my people, so you don't know, I'm an archaeology major and graduate. Shout out Indiana University.
I always forget this about her.
Hair flip. My people, they find an egg-shaped pod that's about the size of like a VW Volkswagen.
Ew,
So like not too
stop.
big, not too small, with 2 alien bodies in it.
Near 27 miles from the crash around
So like
Roswell.
crash a little bit,
Just
fly
sitting there,
skirting, 'cause,
sitting
you know,
pretty,
these,
like
Dude,
these crafts move at like incredible speed. So like 27 miles is like a bump off point from the crash site. Wouldn't it be that crazy?
They could have crashed, the metal fell, and then they bounced or something. 'Cause of how
Exactly,
fast they
something
went.
like that.
Or maybe they dropped something with the metal and then they crashed in that spot. That's insane.
That's
Insane.
crazy.
That's insane.
No, literally. Later interviews done by Kevin and Donald, this was verified by a number of different sources who were at the crash site. Some of the family of the men who were working the crash site, who actually saw these big trucks, refrigerated trucks, come in where they initially stored the bodies. They're told not to look in it, but of course they peek.
Yeah,
Who's
of
not going to
course.
peek
Yeah, of
at
course.
that?
Who wouldn't?
So Kevin and Donald find this out, and like me, they can't keep their mouth shut for 2 seconds. They have to talk about it. So as they're talking about it, it's picking up steam with the government, and they have to come in and again try and shut things
Address
down
it.
as they do.
That's
So fast forward to 1994, the year of my birth. We love that. That almost kind of hit too.
Yeah, that was like kind of a, that. That was kind of
Oh,
hot.
that one was good.
Wait, you
Wait,
guys.
let's do it. Wait, ready?
3,
2,
2.
1.
The year of my birth.
Did we harmonize?
Yeah, that was no, you didn't.
No,
Oh,
no.
take it.
We sure didn't.
You were. It was the same. The
Pitch?
Same note, same pitch. Yeah.
Okay, cute.
But
We'll
it was
try.
so
we'll try again
beautiful.
next week.
But it was so beautiful.
So, back
thanks,
in
Michael.
1994, this sacred year, they released about a 240-something page document about the sightings at Roswell, which just raised more questions, let's be honest. And in attempt to answer some of these questions, they turned to a couple explanations. First, they turn back to the balloon theory, but this time they change it from a weather balloon to a Soviet secret spy detecting balloon or something like that, and it's called Project Mogul, which has a bigger story to it that I'm not really going to get into, but after some digging that, again, was not clearly done by me, it turns out that the balloon wasn't even that high-tech, and the balloon in question never even flew. It was scheduled to launch on June 4th, but the balloon never launched because of cloudy weather.
So people clocked that story pretty quick.
Pretty quick.
Mogul, Project Mogul.
Just doesn't sound the same as Project Bluebeam.
No, sure
No, we
doesn't.
love
Just
that.
can't even compare.
No.
Do you remember Project Bluebeam?
Do you? Watch episode 2. Or was it 1?
One, I think.
Watch the first episode.
It's so great. I love that.
But anyways, boom, debunked. We got that one out of the way.
Period.
It never even flew. So it couldn't be balloon debris if there was no balloon. Duh.
Put that on a shirt.
Put it on a shirt, please.
Couldn't be balloon.
This updated balloon explanation in 1994, as we could have guessed, created even more interest in Roswell because, like, what are you talking about? And also, what happened to the bodies? You just explained
Right.
a weather balloon. What about the bodies that they
Right.
found?
Let the bodies hit the
Don't
floor.
worry. The government said something about them. In 1997, a few years later, let that one fester, they said that these bodies were actually just test dummies carried out by high-altitude
God.
research balloons. Again, with the freaking balloons. They love them. Who doesn't? I love a good balloon.
I just really think Americans are so stupid.
Well, anyways. Okay, so...
That's not the discussion for today.
No, it's not. Okay, well, if that's what happened in 1947, why did they lie about it initially? And why did they cover up the fact that we had bodies in the first place?
Right.
And on top of that, these test dummies, I don't know if actually these sentences go together, but we're going to just work with it. These test dummies that they were just trying to pass off as the bodies that were found, they weren't even invented until 1952. Roswell
Oh,
was in
like actual
1947.
test dummies?
Yeah, they were saying that the bodies that were
come
found were
on.
test dummies from a high altitude whatever balloon.
And
No.
so they said
No
this in
way.
1997, right? Mm-hmm. So that's why they were like, oh, it's the test dummies. But test dummies weren't even fucking invented until 5 years later.
Literally.
Dumb.
Dumb. But they didn't have Google back then. I mean, it's kind of harder to
that's
fact
true.
check,
Yeah,
but again,
that's
boom,
true. Tough.
debunked.
Harder to cite your sources.
Yeah, or
To even know where to
source
look.
anything.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. You probably don't
Hearsay
remember
at
this,
that
but
point.
do you remember having to write like bibliographies?
Of course.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah. Ugh,
And like you
Annotated
learned-
bibs.
Yes, annotated.
I hate that. Shout out to everybody doing midterms right now. I hope it's nobody I know.
Yes.
Best
Shout out.
of fucking luck.
Hope all
Couldn't
are,
be me.
hope all are
Seriously.
okay mentally and
Anyway,
physically
so,
and
again,
psychologically,
Also called mentally.
emotionally.
There it is.
Anyways,
I don't know what just happened.
Yeah.
But anyways, so again, the government has given us no real answers on what really happened at Roswell. And let's see here. Wait, where was I? Oh, going back to these bodies. Could these bodies that they found have been the same bodies that, again, we talked about last week? Because as a refresher, last week we talked about the U.S. congressional hearings where the House Oversight
Yes.
Committee, where Louis, oh shoot, the name, I can't
I
pronounce
forget
it.
his name, too.
Elizondo.
Elizondo. I was like, that's somewhere in the-
Elizondo is what I want to say. Told us that the U.S. has alien bodies, and it's a frequent
Yeah.
like
Confirmed.
discussion at
Yes.
the Pentagon
Confirmed.
in a U.S. congressional hearing.
It's probably the
That's
bodies.
insane. So could it be the bodies that were
So
found at
they're just
Roswell?
recycling them?
Well, I
No,
mean, not
it's the same
recycling,
ones.
just like
They
not
just have
getting rid
them.
of them. You
Yeah.
know,
Oh.
like
Because it's
preserving them.
1947.
Well, yeah, I
fast
guess
forward
I
until...
was mixing up the timelines in terms of usage of the bodies.
I mean, I don't know if they're
Usage.
using. I don't know what using they're doing with the bodies.
Well, I think they probably just
God
like
knows what they're doing with the
kept
bodies.
them
Who knows?
in those like refrigerators after the crash happened or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they like have just been saving
Studying
them. And
them.
until all this stuff came out in like the 2000s. And what was the thing? Was the classified documents last year or 2023?
21.
21.
is when
That's
it
when they
started.
finally were like, okay, yeah, we have had bodies.
Yeah, that was 23. But yeah,
We know celestial bodies. Also, the thing that I remember from last episode was that they have been in nonverbal contact with sentient beings.
Yeah.
Which I mean, they probably didn't talk to these bodies because
They were dead.
they were dead. So there
R.I.P.
has to be other ones.
Doo-doo-doo. So the government explanations, again, they were debunked, and growing demand for information obviously after this grew, and at this point we're stumbling into modern times where that transparency is growing, maybe not at the rate that we're looking for, but it's happening more and more frequently. Again, we're going to have more of those House Oversight Committee congressional hearings in the future, which of course we're going to cover. So this is kind of where we end with Roswell. That's kind of all that we've got. The story of the UFO crash in Chavez, New Mexico, potentially where we found our first alien bodies.
Work. That was great.
Now you
That
know.
was
That was
full of
super cool, and
information.
I really like how the story that you've been telling us, over the course of these few episodes, have all been connecting towards each other.
Yeah.
I
And we're like
do.
actually finding the connected pieces.
Yeah.
And honestly, folks, that's unintentional. Kind of intentional. I mean, we do have a season 1 mapped out, but
Yeah, team.
as I'm diving into the stories, because this is really the first time I'm diving into all this material too. I'm no
Yeah.
expert, again, by any means.
Again, we are learning alongside
Yeah.
you guys.
with you.
But it's also like when I think about all of this information that I may or may not have heard of, just like being aware, it's not pieced together like that. It didn't come out
Right.
congruently like that.
So that's what we're doing for the ladies and the gals.
Yeah, because
And
the
the
ladies
gays.
and the girls and the
Piecing
gays,
together.
we need these
the
to be a little
puzzle.
connected in ways that make sense for us.
Let's make it more digestible.
And
Yes.
what can we
For our
draw from what
palates.
we've learned?
Can you
Nothing.
draw a picture? Can you draw graphic design? Do you
Can we
code?
do Pictionary?
Yeah.
Would you help me with a website?
Should we do Pictionary?
Should we do a
One
Rorschach-
episode should just be
what is it,
just
a Rorschach?
Pictionary. Tell
A
the story
Rorschach?
through pictures.
Actually, that's
Test?
next episode. It's just Pictionary.
Okay, I feel like
No audio.
What were you trying
This will
to
be a
say?
silent film.
like, do you know the ink blot test?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but there's an official name for it. It's like the Rorschach.
Rawshank?
Rorschach?
No, Redemption. That's a Steven
Shawshank Redemption. Yeah, that's a good one.
Rawshank.
It's like a Rorschach
It's the gay porno version.
test. Okay, well, this will be addressed out. We'll cut this out because I'm
Rorschach.
leaving
Fucking
that in. We
idiot.
are leaving that in.
Oh, Julia, bring us back down to earth,
Yeah,
please.
Bringing
From
us
that especially.
God.
back down to earth. Okay. So, what we are going to be talking about today is a rap beef. And we're not going to be talking about Drake and Kendrick. We are going to be talking about two women, Alabama Barker and
Oh my gosh.
Bad Baby.
Oh my
Let's
god.
fucking
I have
go,
nobody
dude.
to talk about this with. I'm literally
Let's
so excited
fucking
right now.
go.
Okay.
This is so recent, right?
Okay.
It's super. I mean, it's ongoing right now.
But she just came out
Let's
with the
go.
song.
Bad Baby just released another diss
multiple.
track, which
Multiple?
we'll talk
I'll
let
about.
Julia
Yeah,
talk
there's been
about
a
this.
few
I'm so
different
sorry.
diss
Oh my
tracks
God,
that
okay, I'm
she's
sad.
written and produced and
Also, if anyone doesn't know
put out
Bad
to the
Baby,
public.
Oh yeah, give us a little background.
Yeah.
Yes, I
I
was
was
gonna
gonna
say
do it, but thank God you passed it to Julia.
I have
Julia's the
to.
expert. Michael, shut up. Michael.
We don't want to hear me do it.
No.
I have to say, disclaimer before we get into this segment of Back Down to Earth. Down to Earth.
That would be a good.
I am fully on Team Bad Baby, so I cannot be fully unbiased when I'm talking about this. Specifically,
Same.
slay.
sorry, we don't have an objective
Now we're
opinion on this
incredibly
podcast.
biased.
We're all
Sorry,
Team
Alabama.
Bad Baby. But I will try and be as
I think so
neutral
is
as I
general
possibly
population,
can.
though.
But a little bit of background
We're
on
not
Bad Baby.
controversial.
Yeah.
She has been a self-made. I mean, is she a
Catch me
self-made
outside. How about
millionaire
that?
at this point?
Self-made is the best term.
Yeah,
to
self-made
actually say.
millionaire.
Iconic.
Yeah.
She
She was on
Dr. Phil.
and
Yeah,
she's the
and
Catch
she was,
Me Outside. How
she
about
was
that,
like
girl?
13. She
Yeah.
was a young teenager when she was
A young teenage
exposed to
icon.
the media and was originally coined as the Cash Me Outside girl.
Yeah.
And so that was really what she was known for, but then blossomed into having a really successful rap career, which we were just singing before this podcast.
Yeah.
We
And I was
love
not in the room,
Gucci
and I
Flip
was like,
Flops
y'all are
will
popping
forever be
off.
such an amazing song. Bad Baby, we love you. I grew up on Bad Baby, so I have a
I'm a new
I love
fan.
her. I mean,
I'm a new
hated her
fan.
because, like, I think the
Hi,
way she was
bitch.
portrayed. Well, she was kind of a
Poetry.
piece of shit. I'm not sorry. She was a piece of shit on Dr. Phil.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Like,
That's why I'm a new fan
she was
now that she's older.
the bad kind
and
of
a
brat.
mother.
just a brat. And she grew up, and I was never like, as a millennial, I was like, she's the Catch Me Outside girl. She's always fucking crazy. But like recently, I've been like, wait, you've gone through some shit, and also like you are actually pretty talented, and like are not a piece of shit anymore.
She had
from what
cancer.
you look like. That's right.
Yeah.
Like that's
After
crazy.
she had a baby.
She just
And she had a baby.
battled cancer. And she's a new mother. She battled cancer, and she just had a child who's, I'm pretty sure his name is Callie. And
Cute
she
name.
has
cute
a partner, or an on and off again partner, named Levon, who is really central to this beef that we're about to talk about. And so Alabama Barker is the daughter of Travis Barker, who is
Wait, I didn't even fucking know this part.
Wait, you didn't know
What?
What? Oh my God.
I
I'm
have
so excited
zero
for you.
knowledge of who the fuck Alabama Barker is.
Fair enough.
I thought she was just like some friend from Bad Babies, like growing up.
Yeah, so she's Travis Barker's daughter.
Okay, wow.
And he is known for being in the rock and roll band Blink-182.
He's the drummer.
Yeah,
The
Travis
drummer.
Barker, and also married to Chloe.
And
Kourtney.
Kourtney Kardashian.
Kardashian.
So super famous family, and especially now that they're linked with the Kardashians. And Alabama Barker, I'm pretty sure, is like 19.
Yeah,
I know,
she's young, so
and
let's be
Bad
careful
Baby
what we
is
say.
20.
Bad Baby's
and Bad
21.
Baby's 21. So they are both pretty young. And Alabama Barker spends a lot of her time on TikTok, I think, and kind of being an influencer, getting her makeup done. Although I guess that's really all I can say about her. I don't know too much more than that. So what we have here is Levon, who, again, just to remind you, is Bad Baby's partner and baby daddy of Callie, ended up fucking or having sex with Alabama Barker, and Alabama and Bad Baby were friends, or best friends, like very close.
Ooh,
So she slept with her best friend's
That's hard.
baby daddy.
You can't do that.
Yes. And so that's really central to the beef that's going on. And so let's get into the diss tracks that have happened so far. So the first diss track that was dropped was January 10th, which was Bad Baby's Overcooked. And what's notable about this diss track is that she mentioned that Alabama, or allegedly Alabama, had sex with Tyga, was pregnant, and then got an abortion.
Wait, also Tyga, wasn't he dating Kylie Jenner?
Yes, which
Alabama
makes it a little
Damn,
bit
Alabama.
even more messy,
Diva, what are you
considering her
doing?
family connection to Kylie.
Because of Courtney.
Alabama.
What a dumb bitch.
So
I'm not sorry.
again, that's an alleged claim, but that, I would say, is one of the lines in Bad Baby's Overcooked that's talked about the most that I've seen.
I've heard it.
And there's a lot to unpack in Overcooked, so you should go listen to it if you want to get caught up on all of the claims that Bad Baby is making against Alabama Barker, her character,
This is the
etc.
hottest tea on TikTok right now.
So
Alabama
fucking-
Barker,
It's
of
like-
course, has to
I'm just sorry to
make a
interrupt.
response.
Comedic timing on fucking
Perfect.
point.
Because I
baby.
wanted
No
to
one's
interrupt.
Alabama.
She had to make a point. She said, boop.
Let me make a point. I'm just picturing my grandma listening to this because she texted me today and she loved the podcast. But she's going to have no idea
She's
what's
going to be
going
like,
on.
well, I at least listened to 40 minutes.
Yeah, she's like,
yeah.
okay. Shout out G
Skip
Mama.
this segment.
We love you.
Yeah, it's okay.
No, she'll be into it.
You
She
can't win
just-
them all, you know what
She
I
might
mean?
make like a flow chart for it.
Amazing. I can make a Venn diagram.
G Mama, get your pen out.
I can make a mean Venn diagram, actually.
Hell yeah, bitch.
But anyways, okay, February 7th, Alabama Barker releases her own diss track in response to Bad Baby's Overcooked, and Alabama Barker's diss track is called Cry Baby. And basically it's just not good, quite frankly. She makes these claims about Bad Baby, but also like basically implicits herself, or what's the right word? Implicates herself, not implicits, excuse me. Implicates herself as...
Wait, I don't even think I know what implicates means.
Implicates means like you... Oh,
Like owns up to things that she's done.
yeah.
Not really. She just kind of like confesses to the fact that she like
So she confesses to the
messed
things
around
that Bad
with
Baby
like her
is
friend's
dissing her
baby
on.
daddy,
Yeah.
and it's like
Also, dumb.
right. And
If you're going to do a diss track, you don't own up to your shit.
Well,
Right.
she's
You
like,
just
I
diss
don't
the other
care.
person.
I think that's what she's just like.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
I did it.
That's
Mm.
okay. Sure.
And so, again, quite frankly, it just wasn't a good diss track, and obviously it wasn't written by her. Where we know that Bad Baby writes her own songs, her own diss tracks, and her own raps. But
Gucci
quite quickly after Alabama Barker drops Crybaby, Bad Baby comes back swinging on February 24th with Miss Whitman, which
so good.
is personally
good.
my favorite out of all the diss tracks.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she absolutely killed it. And it's been so nice to see her come out of rap retirement and
agree.
like listen to her flow and just see her, I don't know, kind of like take her spot back in the rap community.
Comfortable doing it.
Yes.
Like, this one specifically. Like,
I agree.
there's
G Mama, real fast. I wouldn't recommend you listen to this one specifically. I will send you that playlist that you love, but don't listen to Miss Whitman. Everybody else though. Okay. Sorry.
Yes. And I don't know. I think Bad Baby's so talented, and I think that, I mean, Alabama Barker apparently like mentioned her kid online or something, and you never should do that.
She did like a messy.
She is young, but it's
version.
like, come on,
She's young,
you know
but
that you're not
it's
supposed
messy.
to.
I mean,
to talk about another
Yeah.
person's kid.
I mean, I also will say, like, I'm still not on the Bad Baby train, but like this is definitely like like I still haven't even listened to the full diss track. I have heard that one,
Okay,
but it was
this one's
so
good.
old. It's so
Yeah,
old.
it's
Like
old.
she has been in such retirement, but like I've only seen clips on TikTok of this fucking song, and it is like she just has such a fucking swag about when she does it that I'm like, wait, bitch, like I'm fucking into this.
Yeah,
and
might
it's
like
been
it.
so long between like her now and like fucking Cash Me Outside for all you millennial people. Like it's been a long
true.
time. People change, and she's been through some fucking shit.
She's
so
been
like,
through it.
she's back on my radar.
Yeah.
I love that.
And she's really come back, and I like seeing her come into her own
Yeah,
and defend her crown.
And
she's
she's
doing
right.
And she's right.
She's literally correct in the beef. That's like the reason why I love the beef. It's because I'm like, oh, Alabama, you're like kind of like not. There,
it just is like, I just don't understand
no
why she would
competition.
even put herself into the situation.
Yeah.
But here we are. But anyways, so we'd love to know in the comments what you guys think about the Alabama and Bad Baby beef. If you know anything about it after or outside of this podcast,
Drop more
let,
knowledge
let
for
us
Also,
let us know
if
what we're
there's-
missing.
if there's any
in
other
our story.
beef in the social world that you guys want us to cover, because
Yes,
like
so
low
true.
key, I love social media beef
So good.
for random shit and random people that you have no idea
Me too.
who they are.
Me too.
Because there's so many TikTokers and influencers
So
these days, and
many.
they all just have their own stupid fucking beef that like is you can just find endless like
Or
reels
valid,
and
reasonable
TikToks
beef.
on. Or valid reasonable beef, but it's also like
So true.
they always inflate it because it's like social content.
Yeah.
And they're like, but you
Yeah.
just like got in an accident and you're crying and you're like, wait though.
Dead.
It's just hilarious. But
I
like,
love
let us
these
know.
segments though.
Same.
Hey, well, happy to ground us
Thank you.
and put us back into the lovely world of the pop culture Alabama
Yeah.
Barker Bad Baby beef.
I
love it.
mean,
Truly
feel-
revolutionary discussions
you get
happening
everything
here.
on this podcast: alien conspiracy theories, shit talking, dragging, gays, girls, rap battles, pop culture.
Pickle.
One stop shop, baby.
It's a one-stop shop.
What
or a
else do you
jack of
want?
all
Pickle, you get
trades.
cats.
What more do you want?
What do you
Literally.
want
what
from us?
What more do you want from us?
Tell us in the comments.
Oh my god.
Please.
We're giving
It's
it
episode 3.
We're giving We're
They've
already
already
giving it
gone
our all.
crazy.
We're all like, what do you want?
Anyways, thank
Here
you
we
for
are.
bringing us back down to earth,
Yes,
Julia.
thank
I
you.
feel grounded, as you said.
Glad to hear it.
Well, thank you for sticking along with us for this wild ride we've been on for these 3 episodes. And join us next week, where we're going to cover... I kind of like this alien story vibe that we were going
I
on.
love
And
it.
Roswell, like I said, it was an internationally known story. So there are other countries that have their, like, own... quote unquote Roswell, like the Russian
God.
Roswell. So I
That's
think
season 2, though, right?
No, I think we're going to go a little international right now.
Okay, work.
We're going to mix it up because this one was fun. So I'm going to bring another. It might be an international story this week or next week. It might be another UFO sighting next week, but it will be something interesting, something verifiable.
Cool,
something the gals need to talk about.
Verifiable.
So I think that's it for
hot
this
words,
week, guys.
Daddy.
Good job, team. And thank you again. We'll see you next week.
Thank you all for
you.
listening.
Bye.
See you next week. Bye.